What a wonderful time to be 7, and so happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. This is an old chestnut of mine called Moments Before, Episode 4, Chewbacca's Folly and the Quantum Leap to Kansas. A couple of summers have passed since her return from Oz, and Dorothy Gale is slipping on a pair of familiar dress shoes. It was 3 quick little clicks of her heels that brought her back to Kansas, back to reality. In the southern sky, there's the distant sound of thunder, and Dorothy slowly begins to wonder, where could she go with some fancier footwork? Step, ball change, entrecôte and plie, a bit of a pirouette, and she is whisked away to Middle-earth. And it's not a very long stay because Dorothy doesn't care for the way Sauron is staring at her. So she hops up in the air until she's pointy-toed, and she lands but a bump on a yellow brick road, and there's this giant lion charging towards her. But the lion is not L. Frank Baum's, it's C.S. Lewis's, and now all that Dorothy can do is this Charleston dance, which advances her forward and then back to galaxies yet unseen until she's standing in a crowded cantina on Tatooine. It's long, long ago and so far, far away. And when Dorothy sees her first Wookiee, she doesn't know what to say, but there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Dorothy wakes up in bed on her Midwestern farm. She's a bit out of breath, but she's come to no harm. She's surrounded by her uncles, Auntie Em and Chewbacca. Chewie does not look happy to be teleported to Kansas circa 1932, and all these farmers are trying to force 2 ruby red slippers onto his fat, shaggy toes. Aunt Em is yelling, "Listen to Dorothy, she knows how to send you back!" As an uncle works the Wookiee's foot with a crowbar from the shack, and they're all trying to get Chewbacca to say there's no place like home. But the best that Chewbacca can muster is so they shaved him and gave him some pomade and a comb and fitted him with some extra large bibs and prepared a welcoming dinner with barbecue ribs and cranberries and corn on the cob and coffee and key lime pie and fried chicken. And Chewbacca thought about sticking around and helping his farming friends that he had found, because as Chewbacca was stocking up on Aunt Em's cornbread, he realized in his travels he'd never been so well fed. So now instead of flying the Millennium Falcon at hyperspace, it's a green John Deere tractor that's taken that rocket ship's place. And sometimes the neighbors like to drive by and stare, but the alien in fading overalls doesn't seem to care. He'll fly with Han Solo again someday, but it's harvest season now, and that means milking cows and baling hay. He does all of his farm chores, and he never complains, for he is Chewbacca, Wookiee of the plains. Woo!